As fall approaches and you can see the onslaught of winter on the horizon, even though I live in Texas, I just want to say to all my northern riders and motovloggers that I feel your pain. No, I don't. Move! All right, let's get this thing going. Because this was supposed to take place weeks ago. But my group ride had no audio after the fact. Luckily, it was just a bad mic, not the port on the GoPro. So, back on August 25th, we had this great group ride put together with Tex R6S, Ride to Victory. Deep South Moto came up from Beaumont. Ginger Ninja Man came from San Marcos, and our new friend Flynn's Take joined us, and guess what? Bing, bang, boom, no audio. My microphone died. I love issues with audio and GoPros. Anyway, here's what I got out of it. Here we're on a dirt road that Tex R6 took us on. That was sketchy, and I still have mud caked to the bottom of my bike from it. That was fun when the back end slid out. Here's where his trailer broke on these farmer's pickup, and so we decided to stop and render aid. And well, Tex R6 apparently decided that he didn't really like his kickstand anymore, and he wasn't going to use it. Next thing you know, ride her down. Oh my God, help the poor man. He's dying from embarrassment. Here we are at the Wahlberg Cotton Gin. It's a scene for one of the later versions of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this time we decided to take everybody on inside and have a look around. Ginger Ninja Man working the GoPro. Deep South getting creeped out. And here's where a train blocked us for 20 minutes. Actually, two trains on a dual set of tracks. They kept going forward and back, forward and back. And as you can see, we got bored. Finally, both trains cleared. I guess they were switching. And so on we go. And here we are with Deep South doing what he does best. We're here in downtown Austin on the dirty 6th Street. And we got to do the 3x3 challenge as challenged by HollarMoto, my main man. We'll get the easy ones out of the way. 3 shout outs. And I'm going to double up on this, and this will be the challenge. The 3 people I got to challenge. So, the shout-outs in the challenge. Ride to Victory, Tex R6S, and Deep South Moto. Let's turn south on Congress. Make it interesting at least. Look at the tall buildings. 3 things you don't know about me. I'll get the unpleasant one out of the way first. I don't have any kids. I know that for a fact. I've been careful. And the reason I don't have kids is I don't like kids.
For shame, sir! For shame!
Since raising kids is a full-time job and obviously critically important to raise them right, well, you better like them if you're going to raise them up. Now, I like kids when they get to be young adults and teenagers, but when they're little too self-centered for me. But that's just me. I don't hate other people's kids. As a matter of fact, I love them. I love revving them up, too. When my niece and nephew were little, 6 and 7, 7 and 8, and I'd visit them, I would tell them stuff like, hey, kids, you know all that stuff under the parents' sink in the kitchen? Mix it all together and drink it.
And, what? And they would look at me and go, no. My sister-in-law would get mad, and I say, what do you do? I'm helping. You got smart kids there. They know not to drink poison. The second, many of you do know, and many of you don't know. For 25 years, I was a skydiver, and for 15 out of those 25, I was a certified jump instructor and did it full-time as a living. When I finished up, I had about 4,000 jumps. Seems like a lot, but I have friends that have now cleared 20,000 jumps. Believe me, it was fun. Skydiving is like riding a motorcycle without the motorcycle. The way that you move in the air is just exactly or close to the way you move a motorcycle, in which you think it and you do it. You fly to a certain spot, you look at it, and you go to it. I met my wife skydiving. I had great time skydiving. I had a professional exhibition rating, which means I'm cleared by the FAA to jump into stadiums and such. And I skydived into NASCAR races and professional sporting events, baseball, and tons of high school football games. And there was a time when skydiving was my life. It wasn't just my job, it was in my DNA. I lived on the drop zone in a trailer. Wake up, get on the plane, and my commute was vertical to 14,500 feet, not meters.
So what I failed to mention at the end of that second thing you didn't know about me was why I got out of skydiving. Well, skydiving doesn't have boring things like health benefits, 401k, and as I got older and bought a house, those things got important. So I got out of it because, you can't make money at it, and it costs a lot to jump, and skydiving is not something you do once or twice a year. You can go golfing once or twice a year. You don't want to go skydiving a couple times a year. That's just not a safe proposition. So, also, I'd gone as far as I could in the sport, and I didn't want to be a has-been. And so if I couldn't do it at the top level that I was at, well, better to retire and have gotten the t-shirt and been good at one time. So there you go.
Finally, the third thing you don't know about me is I am now 17 years drug and alcohol free. And believe me, there's a reason for that. I'm going to write a country song, and it's called I Spent Half My Life Doing a Lifetime Worth of Drinking. Well, I tried to. Until I started to melt my pancreas with Captain Morgan. And, quit all the other stuff. And believe me, when I say stuff, I did everything that didn't involve a needle. My brother, God rest his soul, at one time in his life was a heroin addict, and he said, if I find out you use the needle, I'm going to kill you, because you'll like it too much. He knew. Being the extreme personality and the addictive personality that I am, look, it's all or nothing, okay? It's like I can't dabble or be a recreational user. That ain't gonna work. I was a recreational user. It's just that my recreational use was 5 times normal people's recreational use. I experimented with drugs in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s. But all my experiments were very successful. You know, it comes a time when, like they say, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So everybody comes to that realization, hopefully, before it's too late. But you can't make people come to that realization. They got to come to it by themselves. And that's why, despite what people have suggested many times, I am not a motivational speaker, nor do I want to be, because I would be a hard ass. The moment you stop whining, I can't quit drugs, they got a hold on me, smack right in the face.
From what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies. You're gonna be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river.
You want to hear something crazy? The mind is the most powerful muscle in the body. And if you decide that you're going to do something, by God, you can do it. And when it came time to quit drugs and alcohol, it was easy. So I just can't do it. I mean, I would be like, you need to toughen up. It's not that something has control of you, state capital. You have no self-control. Or should I call it uncontrol? Ultimately, you got to do it for yourselves. It's not that people don't care, is that they can only live your life for you just so much, you know. They can't really feel what you're going through. They can try to. People can be compassionate, but only you know what you're going through. So shout out to HollarMoto for making me do the challenge. If I ever meet you, I'm gonna yank your pee-pee so hard you'll scream like a baby lamb.
And that concludes our broadcast day.
Like and subscribe.